Hi everyone, Shika here with NarcDojo, where we talk about pathological narcissism, spirituality, and raising your awareness. In today's video, we're going to delve into where the narcissist's deep-seated shame comes from. You'll hear me repeat often here on the channel that pathological narcissists are shame-based people that cannot move past their pride. As human beings, our journey here on planet Earth means that we have to ascend. Hence, we are transcending lower level emotions such as shame, guilt, and anger for higher level vibrations such as love, peace, and joy. Our ultimate goal is to get to enlightenment, and you can also call this Christ consciousness, Buddha consciousness, and so on. When we're talking about shame, understand that every day that the narcissist wakes up, they're at shame, again, a very low level vibration. And when they ascend, they cannot move past their pride. What we're dealing with here is arrested development at the spiritual, emotional, and psychological level. Because what is really happening here is narcissists are stuck in a shame, blame, rage cycle and they cannot get out. Shame is actually what makes pathological narcissism what it is. Narcissism or narcissistic personality disorder is actually the most shame-based of the cluster B personality disorders, which includes ASPD, antisocial personality disorder, which you most likely would call sociopathy or psychopathy, borderline BPD, and histrionic HBD. Shame as an energy, as a frequency, is a silencer. It makes you want to hide in a corner. It makes you want to hide your true self. The narcissist's deep-seated shame is why they hide it, lie about it, blame it on you, or project it onto you. There's nothing normal about the shame that narcissists have because it is a part of their identity. The shame that we're talking about here is pathologically low self-esteem. Self-esteem so low that they'd probably have to look up to see it. Understand that at their core, narcissists believe that they are unlovable and that they are unworthy. This is because shame is an emotion that is felt about the self, whereas guilt is an emotion that is felt about what one has done or one's behavior. This is dysregulated shame or very unhealthy shame. To better understand this, let's go ahead and take a trip down memory lane to see where the shame originated from. When you really look at it, you will see where narcissist really originates from poor parenting. Pathological narcissists generally fall into two categories. On one hand, a lot of them grew up in dysfunctional families. If you are familiar with the TV series Shameless, for example, this would be a good example. In these dysfunctional family systems, there is a lot of emotional incest, and these parents enable their children's bad behavior. So on one hand, you have dysfunction, and then on the other hand, you have spoiling. And spoiling is a type of overindulging and underindulging a child. Spoiling is actually a type of emotional neglect or emotional abuse, and you will see where spoiled children grow up to be egomaniacs. So they grow up to be narcissistic. They'll throw tantrums when they don't get their way, and they expect the world to revolve around them. Narcissists abandon their true selves in childhood for a fictitious entity, that which we call the ego or the mask. And this is the shame that we're talking about. If narcissists truly loved themselves, then they would be themselves and not a mask or a made-up character. If you think about Anna Delvey in the Inventing Anna movie, this is what we're talking about. She pretends to be a different person depending on who she is around. There is no true self because the true self was abandoned for the false self, that which we call the mask. Shame as an energy, as a vibration, is very close to death. And what we're talking about here is the death of the spirit. We can also call this the true self. It is important to understand that human beings are multidimensional in nature. We are spirits inside of a human body with access to a mind as a tool. You're not your body is a vessel. You're not your mind is a tool that you use to make decisions. Now, there are many different names for spirit depending on the culture that you come from. So we could also call this source energy, consciousness, life, light, prana, your essence, and so on. What we're talking about here is the true self, the true spirit. So narcissists don't really know their true self because they spend most of their energy developing a false self, the characters that they use. to manipulate people. Oftentimes, you'll be around narcissists and the lights will be on, but nobody's home. And nobody's home because they abandoned their true selves in childhood. It is also important to understand that abandoning the self is a disconnection from the mind. So narcissists, one, do not know themselves, and also two, they are losing their mind, because narcissism, narcissistic personality disorder, is a mental illness. It is a psycho-spiritual mental illness. If you think about energy kind of like gas in a car, running on shame is running on E. Narcissists are running on fumes. This is why they have to feed and they have to consume other people's energies. They really don't have any energy of their own. And this makes them emotional energy vampires. So pathological narcissism is a shame-induced disorder. This shame again comes from their dysfunctional family system. So most likely there was a lot of neglect, abuse. You could even have torture. And spoiling again, overindulging and underindulging is a type of emotional neglect or abuse. So all of this combined was internalized by the narcissist, and this makes them believe that they are unworthy. On the outside, they will hide this shame with their grandiosity and their false sense of superiority. All of this is to cover up that they really do not like themselves. What you're dealing with today is someone that has accepted an evil spirit. This means that they are tapped into their lower nature and their conscience is seared. This is why narcissists must drag you down to their level. They cannot get up to yours. They will not be able to pass the spiritual ceiling here at the third dimension. They cannot move past their pride. This makes them stuck in their lower ego, or what we call victim abuser consciousness. This means then that any relationship that you get into with a pathological narcissist will be a victim abuser type 1. If you appreciate the content, please give us a like and subscribe, share the video, save the videos, and comment. Let us know what you think.